Alright, so I created a little bit of details in here. There is nothing special about it, and all I did is select the edges like so. I already showed you this in a previous video. So press Ctrl B and then press number 3 and move it down a little bit, because tunnels are never really smooth. I don't know about smuggling, but most likely those tunnels are handmade, and having perfectly blocky walls is not a thing unless you have specialized hardware, which will defeat the purpose of being a smuggler. So create kind of artificial kind of depressions and highs and lows. 3, move it up a little, and so on. And since we're here, I decided to add a room, let's say for the gang hideout. So about halfway from here to here, about halfway, we're going to be creating a room in here. And select that face, press I, insert, and then press E to extrude, like that. And then press R to split this in two. Then select this edge, press Ctrl B, use the scroll mouse, the mouse scroll, and select this face, number 3, and then G to move, and then looks a bit too blocky. Move it down a little bit. It's like the entrance. Let's join those vertices. J, J, then number 2, loop select edge, and S to resize. Select top edges, and move it up a little. I think we should remove the vertex in here, like so. And we will create in the rooming. Number 2, move it up. This is not tall enough. So number 3, select those faces and move it down. Then select this face, E to extrude, and then again Shift R and Control plus, and then S to resize. Hold Shift, select those edges, and S. I guess something like that. Now this is how wide the pad is. So this will be enough room for, I don't know, at least 30 individuals. Like that. Number 2, select this edge, Control B. So yeah. Maybe create a little bit of an incline in here, so it's not perfectly straight. And maybe select the face, press I to insert. Blender, you fuck. And repeat, Shift R. And we will be creating a little bit of a bumpy floor. Move it down, number 3 again, loop select, move it up a little bit, select this edge, number 2, hold shift, hold alt, and then Control B to bevel, select this edge, alt, and move it up. So lose something like that. Number 1. J. Move this up a little bit. Just give it a little bit of a detail. Select this edge, Control B, then select those faces, move it in a little bit, of course we can just create a use a modifier, but I don't want to add too much geometry for no reason, so this is just basic. So understand, if you want to do that, it's doable. So check this one, select that one, press J, select this edge, Control B, then select this edge, J. I'm randomly doing stuff. Move it up. So you kind of have a fake bumpy interior. J. Move those down. Alright, you got the idea. Pretty much what's going on here. Like so. So the moment this is an MLO, you can add a table and benches and lights and whatever you want to add for the gang. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Don't you? Alright, let's hide everything except for what we have in here and texture this goddamn thing. Alright. So with your geometry selected, make sure in edit mode, select faces, press A to select all, UV, Smart, OK. If you do not know how to open this, you just move the mouse over into the corner, click and move up, and then you select, you need a UV and you have the shader editor. So you have two of those open, and we're gonna do just very basic stuff. Just two shaders, one for the floor, into the gang room, and everything else. Exit out of edit mode. Go to Solums. Export drawable. Expand, not export. Expand drawable. Make sure your stuff it's... Why do I have... Oh, we created this from a collision. We need to remove that. We do not use them. So with your geometry selected in here with the tunnel, make sure you have the auto embed on and center to selection. Those are important to have. As for this test, if you create an MLO, it's going to be completely different settings. But now you're learning how to do a tunnel, you're not learning how to do an MLO. I have tutorials on MLOs. And convert to drawable and create drawable. Now convert to drawable right under. So you're gonna have the drawable and the collisions. Making sure you understand what's going on in here. Whatever it says .bvh is the collision and the other one is the drawable. So when you export them, there's two different, well, it's one geometry embedded into the other, but one is going to have shaders and textures, and the other one will only have materials. So select the .bvh, collisions, create collisions material, go select concrete, make sure this is selected right here, otherwise it's not going to work, and create collision material, like so. Collapse collisions, expand drawable. You have selected default, then select the drawable in the list in here, and click it twice. One is going to be named, double click and name it global texture, then double click the right under, around right under below that one, call it room floor. That's the only visual distinction we're going to be making between those, because I don't want to go overboard with this. And enter edit mode, press A to select all, select global texture, assign, and on the left side move the mouse over, press Ctrl space to maximize this, navigate to a place where you have textures and find a concrete, where are you? I'm just gonna dark concrete here. Press Ctrl space again to move out of that. We're going to minimize and reduce the size of this whole thing so you can see what I'm doing. And zoom in because you need to see what you're doing. Make sure this option is on and the collision is hidden. So hold shift, click the eye, press shift alt and Z. That will display the whole thing with the low resolution texture. We'll change that. So hold alt shift Z again and make sure in face mode, press A, move the mouse over where the UV mapping is, press A and zoom out using the scroll and press S. So you got a bit more detail into the texture itself from the texture. Now let's change so only the floor, it appears a different with the second where it says room floor. So enable this mode again. Oh, this is going to create problems in here. Gotta merge the vertices. J. I'm glad that I saw that. All right. So let's select the faces that make up the floor. So number 3. Or select this one in the center, hold Control and press plus. When is too much, go back, press hold Control and press minus, and select the rest of them one by one. Like so. And select room floor. So this needs to be selected. Keep them selected. Room floor, assign, UV, smart, OK. And expand this again. Select a different texture. And this is going to have a different texture. You can do the other floors in here exactly the same way. Just select the right faces and apply room floor, and it will change the textures everywhere. Alright, that is done. Again, this is very ugly. Usually I don't do things like that, but this tutorial, no, it's good enough. Alright. Exporting. So we're already 20 minutes in. Next video we'll be exporting every single piece of geometry modified, and hopefully we're gonna have enough time to spawn it in game and actually play it. See you shortly.